The Central Club.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the Central Club. This episode is brought to you by Re-Inspire Printing, Weekend Defender, and All Time Out in Shillagit. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the club, and hit the bell button to be notified of future content. Now, if you might remember, going back a few months now, we interviewed the former EDL member and larger-than-life character that is Gurmat Singh. Personally, I think Gurmat's a character. I get on with him very, very well. And, what he's doing now, I think, is a great thing. And it should be done anyway, via our governments, our police. But unfortunately, it isn't. Now, if you remember, Gurmat spoke about some predator hunting work he's been doing. Um, Myself, I've always been a bit like half and half with some of these predator hunter things because I feel there's a lot of channels out there that I wouldn't know how to word it, but I think there's a lot out there that, probably don't do it the right way. But I think after watching Amit's documentary, Kira's Justice, I thought he was fantastic. And I truly thought he got the justice for Kira. So what we're doing here today is we're actually we've brought Kira to the studio because there's been developing events since that documentary where they actually got hold of the perpetrator. Um, the police were called, the police came, and you would think that that was it, justice done. We've got him. Get him to jail, the dirty rat. But unfortunately, that is not the case. And although I understand the police have a job to do and there's a process, when I look at other incidents out there that are much less of a worry and less serious than rape and grooming, we're living in a time now where people are getting slammed up for anything, and it's very sad. So I'm not going to say any more. I just want to warmly welcome Kira, and we're going to have a little chat. How are you doing, Key?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
That's all right. It feels weird watching you being here because I've watched the documentary and that, and I it was sad at the end of the day. This is your life story, and I thought you carried yourself very well, and it was very brave of you to come out and speak about the things that was it, Mr.
Harry Shankar.
Shankar. That's it. I remember because the way he said his name, I was laughing when he had him in the shop. It was nice to see. Um, But maybe if you could like take us back a little bit and talk us through the story to people who haven't watched the documentary.
So it all started when I had finished school. Um, I had a free house. I was 16 and some of my friends were staying with me as well. And I was smoking at the time, so I went to the shop to go buy some Rizzlers and filters. Um, I went to the shop. He served me the Rizzlers and filters, but he didn't take the £1.20 off me. And then happy days, saved myself £1.20, went back home. A couple of days later, needed some more Rizzlers and filters again. Went back to the shop with the same £1.20, wouldn't take it. And then he was like, what's your number? Because if you can just message me and I'll get it all ready for you, and I'll tell you if it's not in the shop. Just gave him my number, didn't think anything of it. And then after that, it was just continuous messages, one after another, no caller IDs constantly. If I didn't turn up at the shop, he'd turn up outside of my mum's house. And it just was like, I had to go when he said. And it got worse. He figured out where all of my friends lived. So he'd be like, I'm outside of their house. And then my friends kind of knew something wasn't right, but I didn't lead on. And she was like, can we go to the police? I was like, no, it's fine, leave it. And she was like, something worse has happened. And I just shut down. And then that's when my friends knew that it was worse than what I was letting on.
Yeah, so if we could, like, go through that process, I'll just ask you a couple of questions because I think it's important to understand this process, for future, vulnerable people. Um, so how did you feel when this guy was, first of all, giving you freebies?
I didn't think anything of it at first. I just thought he was a nice guy. Just wanted to help out. But then, as obviously it started to become more and more, I kind of knew something wasn't right. But I feel like I let myself believe that he was still trying to be nice.
Yeah, didn't wanna didn't wanna have the confrontation, upsetting, and
Admit it because I was embarrassed and ashamed.
it was literally what, 2, 3 times, then the numbers was exchanged. Did anything physical happen up to that point?
Up to that point, no. It was after my number was given, and after that, that's when it started to get physical.
Okay, and, you know, those first kind of early interactions of the just take that, there was no chat at all about, sexual innuendos or anything like that?
No, nothing.
When he got your number, did that change straight away, or was that a slow progress as well?
It kind of changed, but it was still a slow progress. Like it changed in the sense of constantly messaging, constantly wanting to know where I am, what I'm doing, who I'm with. Um, but then it still took like a bit longer for the physical side to happen.
What was some of the type of things that he said that sounded a bit iffy early on?
In what sense?
Like, what were some of the texts he was sending to you? Like,
Where are you? Come now. Um, come now. And I couldn't is the way he would word things and put it in messages as well was, like, hard to understand. So it'd word it in a way where it was malicious, but it doesn't come across malicious over messages. So he was quite clever with the way he worded things. It was like, "Come sharp," this, that. If I didn't answer, I went outside for a fag because he was doing me head in. So I turned my phone off and it'd just be there. So then it kind of got to like a point where me messages, I go, and it was easier.
yeah. And, did you live far from his shop?
No, I lived at my house was there and then the shop's like there. So
Oh, so he was,
it's 3 minute, 4 minute walk.
yeah. How old was you at this time?
16.
Yeah, so he was young,
Yeah, just finished school.
impressionable. Uh, put it this way, if I had the shopkeeper giving me freebies, at the beginning, I definitely would, I'd be buzzing. Yeah, in a way, I probably would have embellished it a bit, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I probably would have. Um, so you go to the shops, you'd go just because he's text you. What was earlier on, like, what was, like, the process?
So when I'm at the shop, I'd go to the shop, it'd like little small chat over the counter, lock door, go in the back, and then I'd just have to sit on like this chair, and it just kind of like go from there.
So this was, like, full on from the get-go.
Yeah.
Um, and why this is probably impossible to answer, but why do you think you were scared so early on? Do you feel like when you exchanged numbers, that was like, did you feel like that was a bad thing to do in the first
No, I
place, or
literally didn't think anything of it at the time. Um, I've never really had my dad in my life, and my mum wasn't very well, so he kind of figured all of that out. My sister's an alcoholic, so I had my niece with us at my house, so he kind of put things together and trapped me in a way where I'm fucked, in a sense. I figured everything out.
yeah, he primed you? Do you think he done that before any?
I'm not sure. The part of me thinks possibly because he did try to add half of my family on Facebook.
Yeah, strange that, isn't it? And, um, So let's say the first time he tried to make a move on you, was it a charm? Was it a no nonsense, get over here? Like, how did that work?
I couldn't fully tell you, to be honest. I just think it was like I remember him, like, forcing it, and I'm like, "No," but then it happens anyway. So then after that, I just, like,
Once it
fight or
happened,
flight.
yeah.
It just froze every time.
And did this happen after it happened the once? Was this a long duration of times this happened then, or
It my friends didn't figure it out until, like, the end of February, and then we went to the police the March.
did you have any other physical relationships with any other boys at your age as you would grow up? Was it or was it with
I had, like, boyfriends in school, but then after that, not really. I kinda lost myself and just did things that I shouldn't have. Gone and slept out where I shouldn't have and just got folk to just deal with whatever it was that was going off in my head.
yeah, um, I can just hear it the way you're speaking like that it's quite tough for you, like, and, it's clearly something that affects you to this day, like, I'm really sorry that you had to go through something like that. Um On the documentary, you speak about how I don't know if there was a text or a voice note, but the way he spoke to
About
you.
my mother when he
Do you
was
wanna explain?
it was the one, is it the one in the shop where he's on FaceTime to me and it's like, "Your mum's in the shop, your mum's in the shop, I'll show her." I had loads and loads of different videos of him being like that or him just being weird. Like he'd say that the shop was my shop, I'm his wife, all of like weird, strange things.
Well, things that for a 16-year-old would actually sound quite, good. Do you think in a way that it was like he was trying to groom you as if,
Yeah.
"You're
Looking back
safe
on it
with me."
now. Yeah. Looking back on it now, yeah, I do.
And did you feel safe at all? Was there times where you did feel safe?
No, no, can't say. I'd say after after obviously it got physical, I knew it wasn't, but beforehand, I don't really know, to be honest. I think I was just probably delusional about it, not really thinking anything of it.
And was the 2 Mr. Shankars, were they different before and after the physical? Were they 2 different people, 2 different characters, or was he always the same, would you say?
I don't know, sometimes he was nice, sometimes he was a cunt. So I suppose it just depends on the mood and if I was answering him back or not. If I was ignoring him, then it just become like not aggressive, but his whole like persona changed, if that makes sense. Like he just seemed he came on text message, he was more like not what's the word I'm looking for? Like stern and wasn't as nice
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy, and was this an everyday occurrence, kinda pestering, or was it like when he probably felt a bit like he needed to get his end away?
every day, all day, constantly. Police retrieved 12,000 messages in 6 months, something like that.
And would you go there every day?
I'd have to, yeah, I'd have to go. And yeah, like if I'm at college, you wouldn't believe I was at college, so I'd have to send in photos of being in college. And then I just ended up having to just drop out of college because it was just too much.
Like jealousy and controlling?
Well, my head wasn't there either.
No, but from him, he's checking,
Yeah,
is it like a jealous thing, you think?
yeah, I'd say so.
And how old was Hani Shankar?
55 at the time, 60 odd now.
Yeah, wow. Did he have family? Why, was he married?
Yeah, wife and kids. I know he had a son. I think he's got 2 sons, to be fair. But yeah, he's got wife and kids.
Obviously, you said that, You didn't see your father, was it? Or your father just wasn't
No,
around?
not really got a strong connection with him. He's been in and out of my life.
Yeah. And then, like you said, your aunt was an alcoholic and stuff with your mother. So you would have had some sort of trauma in your life anyway.
Yeah.
But how much would you put down, uh, how much has this abuse, like, affected you?
It was proper it ruined me, completely ruined me. I feel like I'm having to find myself again. Like, I have to fight myself to get in the shower more than once a week, and it's just ridiculous. But it's just, I haven't got the effort or the energy to do anything. Just can't be bothered.
Is that because you feel like he's changed you, like, dirty, or, like, or what is it?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I don't know if it's just like my way of like sh- shoving everything in. Like, I struggle to sleep, I struggle to eat. Um, it's like I'm having to learn how to do everything again and how to be like happy again.
Um, was he ever violent towards you?
No, it never hit me or anything. No.
Threaten you?
Yeah and no. He'd do it in his ways of not sounding like it, but it is. Like, he threatened to kill my friends in the shop and they ran. Um, but it was the way you worded things. I'd say he's very clever with it.
Yeah, because when you look at the documentary and you look at him, I've got a few shopkeepers I look at and I just think butter would melt, you know? What a nice man. Couldn't be further from the fucking truth with this guy. Um, and if you don't mind going into it, if it's fine if not, what were the things he done to you physically?
He used to make me toss him off, like give him a hand job. He would finger me, um, and like when I'd be giving him a hand job, he'd like come into a Union Jack handkerchief, and then he tried to do like rape, but I somehow something must have been looking over me that day because I managed to get out of that. I ran. Somebody came in the shop and I just ran.
What's the Union Jack thing? Is that like a disrespect thing, you think?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Was that because it was just there, or do you think this was the same thing he would use all the
It'd be
time?
the same thing every time. It'd be in a because it happened in the car as well. Not just the shop. So it'd be in the car. Be It was mainly used in the car.
Mm, sick man. So when did your friends start to realize? How long into this?
They knew something was off, like with the constant messages, no caller IDs. Like if we was out and I nipped to the shop, I could be in there for an hour, and they're like, "What is going off?" And I'd just say, "Oh, just talking." He wouldn't let me go because he was just chatting shit. And then it was I started to drink a lot and smoke a lot of weed, and my friend was like, "It's not good. Like, you need to like slow down." And I didn't. I just carried on, and then went round to theirs, and that's when they was said, like, "We need to go to the police with this, like, it's too much, it's harassment now, like, it's constant." And I didn't say anything, and then they put two and two together, and it kinda went from there.
Did he pay you every time you went there to do this stuff? Like, would he like dangle carrots in front of you?
No, I wouldn't say so, no, like, if I needed fags from the shop, I could just go to the shop and get some, or, like, drinks, sweets, whatever. Um, or he'd give me like 50 quid cash for the day if I was going out or something. I wouldn't, or I could ask and I could get it. But it wasn't, he does that to me and then give me 50 quid. It was kind of, like, get whatever I want, but this now happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like, you know, "Wipe me off, I'll give you 50 quid." It was like, "Yeah, I'll have the 50 quid, then when you're on your own, I give you 50 quid."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sly, very sly. And when you told your friends, how did they react when you told them what actually been happening?
I just cried. I said, obviously, I don't want my family to know yet. So my friends rang, like, it was our friendship group. So then they rang the rest of the friendship group, and obviously we all came round. Um, and then they like, took me out of Beeston. I went to Long Eaton at a friend's house for a bit. Um, and then my sister's boyfriend at the time found out, because I said at the time, like, he's, like, messaging a lot, and then he went and told my sister, and then my sister rang up my friends and, like, spoke about it, confirmed it, and then my sister found out, who told my other sister, who then ended up telling me mum, and then
It
they
just
rang the
gets around,
police.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they ended up ringing the police.
How tough was that opening up about it? Like,
Hard, hard.
can you see how others
Yeah, 100%. I was ashamed, embarrassed. I felt disgusted in myself. I I'm not surprised. It's hard for somebody to talk about it or speak up.
not just your circle of friends, but did anyone, like your school circle, anyone in school assume stuff and say no, or
No, no, I'd left school at the time, and it was like me and my friendship group, or it was like us, and we didn't really let anything go out of that group.
yeah. For anyone out there who probably is going through this, um, how did it feel? Maybe if you could like explain to those that feeling when you did eventually come out though. Did how did it feel?
I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, but then at the same time, I was still shitting myself for what was to come.
From him?
And just the whole process of, like, the police, having my interview, um, constantly dealing with the police, then having to go to court.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause it's a daunting thing, innit? You know? You know, nobody wants to go through that, especially as a victim. Yeah. Um, so did you hear off Shankar again? Did he try and contact you? You're lying or any of that stuff? Or
No,
as
that
soon
was
as you
it.
went public?
That was it. As soon as the police know, that was it. No, not a peep from him since. Saw him once after, um, and then I didn't see him until court was only last year.
How long did that take?
5 years to go to court.
And what, did he move out of the area or?
He was living in Bilborough near a college, and then filming the documentary with Kermit. I then found out he was living in West Bridgford, so I didn't know he'd moved or anything.
How far away is that from your place?
West Bridgeford's 20 minutes, 25
So he's
minutes.
still in the vicinity,
Still Nottingham.
but he left as soon as it went public.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Funny, innit? So you go to court. Um, what was the sentence? What was the charges? And what did he get?
So I was cross-examined for a full day, and my friends were as well. He was originally meant to be charged with 2 sexual assaults and 2 sexual penetrations. He ended up pleading guilty to a lesser charge of paying for sexual activities from a 16-year-old, which makes me sound like a prostitute in my eyes.
Unfortunately, it does.
Mm,
And he went for a plea deal.
yeah, the day before he was meant to be cross-examined.
Yeah. I think this is one of the things, see, that people get scared about, see, isn't it? Is being cross-examined, you know. So for him to get off with that, it must have been terrible for you. It's also disheartening for others who are probably going through this. What could you say to those people, though, to reassure them they're still doing the right thing?
I just stick through it because no matter how much it, like, breaks you going through it, when you get a positive outcome, you'll feel a lot better, and you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for everybody else.
So how did Kira's justice come about then? You'd think it was done and dusted there. What did he get sentenced for, and lead us into that?
So the sentence was, a suspended sentence for 2 years, um, and nothing that was it, like, just obviously, I absolutely ruined me, absolutely ruined me that he didn't get sent
What
down.
did you expect him to go for?
He was meant to get custodial.
Well, that's 2 years because of the plea deal. So really and truly, he should have got done for the penalty. He should, in my eyes, people like that should just be fucking
Straight
be
away.
gone.
Yeah,
I don't even, when I say be gone, I don't just mean jail. I just be gone, But
death sentence.
um, that's, I thought 6 years at least do 6 years. Um, so he has a 2 year suspended. Um, yeah, sorry to hear that. Um, what was the conditions?
He wasn't allowed to work in a shop by himself, unsupervised. Same with, like, if staying around at families is not allowed to be unsupervised. You just can't be around kids unsupervised.
And why did Kira's justice happen then? Explain.
Well, we was at Pride in the July, and we got spoke talking to this guy, and we was like, "Where do you live?" He said, "Oh, Long Eaton." "Oh, whereabouts?" "Oh, Norfolk Road." And I just completely shut down because this is where his new shop was. Um, I just shut down, and he kinda looked and was like, "What's wrong?" So my partner explained, and he was like, "I'm a 15-year-old sister lives with me, and she won't go in the shop by herself because he's weird with her, tries to hug her." That spiraled me. I went to the police.
What did you know it was Shankar at that time, or
I knew he had that shop because before he
and
had
did
that
you
shop
mention to the girl?
yeah, um, so we were at Pride, he's got speaking, and then I went to the police, didn't hear anything. So then I went to Gurmit for advice because when my sentencing had just happened, he got sent a photo of the charges and stuff and put it on Facebook, and obviously I didn't want it on at that time, so he took it down. So we messaged him and I asked for some advice and help on what to do. And he said, "No, it's two things we can do. Just put it publicly, or I'll pay for a private investigator and we'll do it that way." I said, "Well, that's going to be a lot of money." And he was willing to help do it that way. So then we started the documentary from that.
Yeah, I gotta say fair play to Ahmed for that, because a lot of people give him stick and say he's, he's against Muslims and all that shit, and it's not about grooming. It's about this man isn't a Muslim, and he's put his own money into this. Because at the end of the day, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. This guy's a fucking wrong, and simple as. So big shout out to Ahmed for that.
Yeah.
Uh, in the documentary, obviously you find him, goes to the shop. Guys, please watch it. It's a really good watch. Very insightful, and it shows you how people like that move as well. He gets caught. Now these are the developments. Would you like to jump in and tell us what's happening?
So he got caught. They had to see if, like, go through all of the evidence that Amit gave. Um, I didn't hear anything of it for ages. Started like I reached out to my local MP, had meetings with her to say, like, what's gone wrong. Like, he was meant to be deported. Like, he's not got the right to remain in this country, so he shouldn't technically be here either. Um, So I've been having meetings with the MP, trying to, like, chase it, and then I heard nothing from the police until last week to say that, they have charged him. He will be going to court. They don't know when, but he's not on remand, which he should be. You've breached your bail conditions, you should be straight on remand.
And and again, it's just breach because he's breached the license, but the thing that some people probably didn't catch on, but what you just said was the shop he's in, he's been weird to other girls, so the risk of reoffending, who knows? He probably has reoffended, yeah? And for it's just been watered down and watered down and watered down from a, "This should be at least 6 years," it's down to 2 years, then it's a suspended, now he's moved over there, he's living his life, he's breached his license. Oh, so we're not getting him done for an original charge, no, it's just breach of that, so it'll just be another slap on the fucking wrist. Um, what would you like to see, and what's your gripe with?
I'd like to see change with our system because it's absolutely fucked. The things that people are getting sentenced for now, like a drug dealer, you put them away like that, and you've got what, 10 years? People ask for drugs, don't they? Like, I just think the system needs to completely change, and we need to start thinking about, like, the victims. 'Cause not my feelings wasn't took into consideration until I met Emmett.
Yeah. Did you feel like they weren't took into consideration in the courts?
No, my impact statement didn't even get read out.
Really?
No, he read a sentence out and that were it.
Did this go to Crown Court? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fucking farce.
Judge said he was too old to go in. He's not done it before, won't do it again, and he had high blood pressure, so he's not very well.
Yeah, but his blood pressure's good enough to fucking nonce little kids.
Mhm.
Um, just bonkers. One of the things that really upset me about what you said was is he tried it on the documentary as well. I don't speak English. Um, but he hired a,
He had an interpreter through court, yeah.
yeah, so not only are you wasting taxpayers' money, you're just lying.
Yeah, pure lying. I couldn't have a conversation with him at 16 if he couldn't talk English.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Well, I'd like to think that things can change. Um, when is the court date?
Not sure.
Yeah, you've been kept out of the loop, have you?
Yeah.
Has Amit been on the case with this? Does
He
he
has
know?
been, yeah. He does know we keep each other informed of updates and stuff, but we don't know when he's got a court date.
And is this whole ordeal, one thing I've done is use my downfall of being a heroin addict to help people. Has this ignited anything in you where you want to,
Yeah, I'd say so.
yeah, you've got a
I wouldn't
reason and
I wouldn't
purpose?
be sat here right now doing a podcast if not. Like, it has made me think something needs to change, and it's not gonna happen unless somebody does it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope this man gets gets the, you get the justice you deserve. He gets the punishment he deserves. If he doesn't, we're gonna keep track on the case anyway and just see how this goes. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing because it's an incredible, it's a very brave thing you're doing. And I think by just talking about this, raising awareness on the triggers, on the traits, and the bounce back, you're going to inspire a lot of people as well. So I thank you for that. What we do with all our guests, Key, is we ask them to leave a personalized message down the camera for people watching. Um, Maybe it could be for Hari Shankar. It could be for victims out there who are stuck in this. Could you do that? Yeah? Or just on that camera?
Um, I'd say don't let it get you down, and just keep fighting for what's right to get things better for everybody else.
Yeah. Thank you, Key. I totally agree with you. We need change in this country. Uh, Over and over and over again, we see on social media about how people, perpetrators, abuse, people who are nasty abusers, who take advantage, they groom, you know, it's pain it's so obvious that they are they're not treated the same as other criminals, and they are it's clearly such a damaging thing. This is not just what you're doing to the person then, this is for life, innit? You know?
Yeah.
You're struggling, like, in you like you said, and they wreck so many lives by doing this, and how many people before you and how many people after. So, let's try and make change. Guys, please go and check out Kira's, it is Kira's Justice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Check out Kira's Justice on
Urban Scoop or
Urban Scoop.
Tommy's Ex.
Go check out, Gurmat Singh on X and all other social medias. Check out Urban Scoop for the Kira's Justice documentary. Check out Tommy's X as well, where it's on. Kira, you on social media?
I am, yeah, but I haven't got like a page, let's say. Just my own personal.
Would it be something you'd ever think about doing to promote?
Possibly, yeah. I
Yeah,
think it might be something I'll start up 100%.
yeah. Well, you've got a call in now, haven't you? You know, got something to fight for. So, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having
I
me.
hope you enjoy your time in Wales. I know you're going to Barry Island tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go and pick up a magnet for Gavin and Stacey. When in Wales, like it is. It's not like let's go to Castle Cork. We've got to go to Barry. So, I hope you have a lovely time.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much. Till next time, guys, stay central.
The Central Club.